I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Councilman Simuluka. Councilman Garrett.
Here.
Councilman Accomando.
Here.
Councilwoman Dorminio.
Here.
Council President Mazur.
Here. Please rise for the salute to the flag, and I ask you to please remain standing for a moment of silence for the children and teachers who lost their lives in Texas school shooting. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all council members and to all legal newspapers in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
The public is hereby advised that any statements made during the meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Saddlebrook may not be privileged or protected, and that persons or entities who take issue with such comments or are offended by same may have in the past or legal redress through the courts. Any member of the public who addresses the council speaks for themselves and not for the council.
I believe we have members of our fire department who would like to make a presentation.
Good evening. I am Glenn Walby, the Battalion Chief at Engine Company 1. I have with me Gary Guilfoy and Gary's our captain and Jason LaBarbera is our lieutenant. We will be hosting a wet down on June 11th at 3:30 p.m. at Engine Company 1 on Cambridge Avenue to celebrate our new rescue truck. Looking forward to seeing you all there. We are proud of this truck. We have a committee of dedicated officers and firefighters that traveled to other departments to see their trucks, hosted various vendors to see if their equipment would work for us, and spent countless hours researching trucks and equipment online to make sure that this was the best truck possible, not only for the firefighters that staff it, but the citizens and visitors of Saddlebrook it protects. Other towns are now visiting us and hoping to build a rescue truck just like it. None of this would have been possible without the support and the generosity of our mayor and council. We would like to present you with wet down mugs and t-shirts as a token of our appreciation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if any of the sizes don't work, we can exchange them.
Did all the neighbors approve the wet down?
What's that?
Did all the neighbors approve the wet down?
They've been advised. They've been advised.
Since I'm right next door.
You've been notified.
I have been notified.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all you guys do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Beautiful. Very nice.
That's according to the list.
Is yours, mine?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's great. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you. Thank you for your dedication and commitment always. Stay safe, guys. Jason, I remember you when you were, I know.
Good night.
Take care. Have a good night.
Good night.
Yeah, he was one of my babies. It's
You
scary.
have a lot of babies.
I know. When my babies are having babies, it's scary. Anyway, okay, motion to open the meeting to the public.
Motion.
For the public hearing on the 2022 municipal budget. The meeting will remain open for other items after the budget hearing. Well, motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Wilcox? Oh, okay. Right, so,
We're open for the budget hearing.
for the
Anyone?
budget hearing? Okay,
Okay.
Or others.
okay, see enough.
Right.
Okay, if you like to, sure.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thomas Van Winkle, 128 Lincoln Avenue, Saddlebrook. I just want to talk about the Mayor's Youth Group like I always do every month. It was a productive month of May. We were involved with the, I want to actually thank our president, Tyler for helping me with the Memorial Day parade, taking all those pictures for the Facebook page. Doing the pictures of the parade is a huge undertaking, so to have his help was amazing. Also, I want to thank Raphael and his kids for also helping to take photos on Market Street as well. So it was a teamwork. It was a great effort there. Also, the Mayor's Youth Group did meet during the month of May. We also were talking about being involved with the activities going forward, including the Township Picnic, which is going to be July the 2nd at the park from 12 to 4 p.m. We also invited them to come to the fireworks later that night at around 9:15. What else? We're also going to have another meeting on June the 25th, which is the last Saturday of this month at 10:30 here at Town Hall. So we're going to let the members know. I have to send an email out, but we're going to invite anybody, any members, 4th through 12th grade, to join us for the meeting. Also, aside from that, I was at the complex this week. It's impressive. I know Councilwoman Darminio will speak obviously a lot more on that, but it's looking impressive. Just taking the photos of that every month, every week, and I hope everybody is checking out those photos on the town website. And I think that's all I have for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. And Thomas, a sincere thank you for the great job you did for the parade. You didn't have the luxury of driving in the car like some of us up here, but you did an amazing job. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard? Seeing none? Motion closed.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good. Okay, Mr. Walker, you're done.
Good evening. Just, again, this is the second phase of the budget. We introduced it 4 weeks ago. You just had your public hearing. You have a resolution on to adopt the budget after you close the public hearing. Just very quickly, a challenging year, for sure, in order to put the budget together. Over $500,000 increase in solid waste and recycling contract. It's not a phenomenon here. It's happening all over the state. As contracts come due, you go out to bid, you get the lone bidder, and the prices have gone up exponentially because the vendors are trying to get even for 2.5 years of everybody being at home and a whole lot more solid waste being carted out of all the municipalities, increased burden on them for additional tipping fees and what have you. And of course, I mean, when I was a kid, it was Franco and somebody else who held the monopoly on that, and it just, the more they tried to fix the system is the same. So over half of the increase in appropriations in this year's budget is solid waste. Between solid waste, pensions, the required library appropriation, and an increase in utilities because, again, Conservative Pete, we're opening a new building. We really don't know. It's energy efficient, but it's much bigger than this building, so just those handful of items are all the increase in appropriations. The things that you control, the day-to-day departments, are $127,000 less than they were last year. So, again, continue to do more with less. Having said that, we were still able to keep the tax increase to somewhat of a reasonable amount, $98.76 for the average residential assessment, which now is almost $408,000. So again, we're not only, there's money in the budget to open and operate the new building, the debt service for the new building is built into the budget. We're dealing with garbage and pension and utility increases, and we still were able to come in with something that's $8 a month to the average homeowner. So that I think that's a pretty good job. And you know, again, as we have talked about over the last number of years, we continue to operate lean and mean, and we continue to have surplus and be able to take that surplus and put it back into the budget to help kind of stabilize some sort of municipal tax rate and increase. And overall, yeah, I think it's another year, another very good budget.
Great, thank you. Yes, Councilman?
How do we do with the insurance? I forget.
Which insurance?
The health insurance.
This year we didn't do bad. It pretty much, the modified appropriation last year was 3.9 million, and this year is 3,820,000, so it actually went down a couple bucks.
And I just, through the chair,
Yes.
you said we're worried about the cost of the new building, running it.
Not worried,
Not
just-
worried, but what we're doing is, just to let people know, we're going from 5 buildings to 1 building. So, take that into perspective. We're not running, and they're not very good,
Not energy efficient.
energy efficient, yes. Not insulated properly. Some of those buildings, what's cool, is 100 years old?
Over 100.
100. And you got trailers. So I think overall, I think we should be fine. I mean, not that we should be fine, we'll be fine. You
No,
take
and
five
again-
inadequate buildings to 1.
Right, and the comment only is that, again, between gasoline prices, which are part of the utility overall budget, and Pete had to estimate somewhat once we move, and, you know, it's better to have a little bit extra
Oh, absolutely.
than to be short. And really, that's really what that's all about.
Through the chair, I know you brought it up last month, but for the residents, the rolling reassessment has really, would you elaborate
Sure.
on that, please?
And I'm the first to admit, I was Mr. Negative when the concept came in front of the governing body. But it's really done a very good job, especially in this last 2.5 years where residential values have just skyrocketed. It's been able to keep those assessments to where they should be. And on the commercial side, I mean, I know when I first got here, we were getting murdered with commercial tax appeals. We were just left, right. All the office buildings and what have you were just coming in, and they were getting, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars back from previous years. That's pretty much stopped. So we're able to keep the values where they should, and it stemmed the tide of the commercial appeals, which in any given, I mean, in previous years, you were doing bond issues in order to pay back taxes, because the numbers were so large. So I stand corrected. And quite frankly, a lot of other towns in Bergen County have moved towards the reassessment and the rolling reassessment program, because it's proven that it works.
Awesome. Any other?
Yeah, through the chair, Steve, I read in the record that County Executive Tedesco has the county budget. He's put forward a budget that is a 0% increase, but that hasn't been adopted yet.
Right.
Is that going to affect us as far as, are we going to have to send out estimated tax bills, or?
Oh, yeah, I would, because my understanding is the budget was presented to the commissioners last week. They're gonna hold their series of budget hearings with the departments. It won't be finally adopted probably to sometime July. So my recommendation would be to do the estimated bills for cash flow purposes. And you're right, there is no county tax increase. The levy's the same as last year. And because of the increase in the rateable base of the entire county, you know, again, county taxes are calculated town by town by town, but it's very possible that there could be a small decrease for the average homeowner this year.
Thank you.
Thank you. else? Well, I'd just like to acknowledge all the mayor, Pete, our department heads for a job well done, of course, our professionals for doing your due diligence and being fiscally responsible. Awesome budget. And of course, my fellow council members.
Don't forget GP.
GP.
GP, it's okay. Thanks again. Awesome,
Thank you.
okay. Yep.
Do we have the resolution for the final adoption of the 2022 municipal budget? Need a motion?
Motion?
Second, roll call?
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrett?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio?
Yes.
Council President Mayhew?
Yes.
Budget is adopted.
Your job is
Thank
done,
you.
and
Thank you.
well
Thank you,
done.
Steve. Thanks, Steve.
Thank
Thanks.
you, thanks.
Everybody have a good rest of the night.
You too.
What's the Yankees win another game? They already won once.
Okay, comments? Mayor?
Okay, I'm gonna start with COVID update, which I usually do. We have 3,000, this is statewide, 3,242 confirmed positive cases and 15 confirmed deaths, as hospitalizations have increased to the highest number of patients in more than 3 months. So we're having a spike now here in New Jersey. The state 7-day average for confirmed cases was 3,043, which was down 21% from a week ago, but we're still up 40% from a month ago. The statewide rate of transmission yesterday was 1%. When the transmission rate is 1, that means cases have leveled off at the current numbers. The CDC and Prevention now lists 11 New Jersey counties with high transmission rates. Bergen is in the medium risk category. Those that are in the high risk areas are recommended to wear a mask indoors in public and on public transportation, and stay up to date on vaccinations according to the CDC. Saddlebrook has seen a recent spike in cases. We are sanitizing. We've been sanitizing and disinfecting all the buildings, and we're doing so again next week. So that's the COVID update. The budget, Steve just went through it, and I want to thank him. I want to thank Pete, Tim Conti, for all that they've done to present the budget. I want to point out that I have a list here from Bergen County, the average taxes residential. We are, out of the 70 municipalities, we're the 9th lowest in taxes. Is that right, Pete?
Yes.
Yeah. Why does it have 60 towns? Why does it only have 60?
I
I thought it was 70, aren't we 70?
70 towns.
Probably another,
Yeah, maybe there's another page, but, yeah, we're the ninth lowest. So that's something to be proud of, and I wanna thank Pete and, Tim Conti, the auditor Steve Wilcox, and the council for really holding our feet to the fire and making sure that we don't increase spending and we keep things, stable. The municipal building construction, I'm gonna let Karen speak about that. There's the DOT municipal aid grant. We've been working with the engineer and the grant writer, and we chose Alberta Drive to submit as the street. We haven't received the grant yet, but we're gonna submit an application to resurface Alberta Drive. Community Development Block Grant. Next week, Pete and I are having a Zoom meeting with other representatives of the Central Committee to start the process of reviewing applications and rewarding funds for various municipal infrastructure upgrades for this upcoming fiscal year. So that's our first meeting, and hopefully, every year we seem to, we get awarded a decent amount of money for infrastructure projects. Ordinances tonight. We have a stop sign ordinance on Beach at the intersection of Skillman to put a stop sign there. And we also have an ordinance for cannabis to establish the application process. Speed humps and traffic, I'm gonna let Andrew talk about that. Good news, we received a Clean Communities grant of $25,400. We usually get the grant every year. This year, we got about $1,200 more. School security assessments are taking place over the next 2 weeks. Bergen County School Security Task Force is doing that along with our police department. They will issue a report with findings and recommendations to improve the safety and security of the schools, of all the public schools. We do have the SLEO 3s, Special Law Enforcement Officer 3s, retired officers in all the public schools, and it's a big help. And it's a big relief to know that we have the armed officers assigned there, especially in light of the incident in Texas. So I think it just certainly gives me peace of mind that we at least have, there's other things that we need to do, and I'm sure this assessment's gonna bring out those things out, but it's nice to have that one layer of protection, an armed officer at every school. It makes me feel very good, and I know the parents of the students, they do appreciate it. I get a lot of thanks for that, the council and I, from the parents. Our Memorial Day Parade, I want to thank the parade committee, the VFW, the American Legion, the Korean War vets, our fire department, ambulance corps, police department, DPW, the Saddlebrook High School, middle school band, who do a terrific job every year. It was a beautiful weather day, and thanks to all who participated and attended. Congratulations to our Grand Marshal, Joe Palazzati. I also want to thank you, Thomas, for bringing up Tyler, but I want to thank Thomas as well, who walked and took a lot of pictures, and La Cosa it was an all-day thing for them, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning at the American Legion Circle there on Welcome Road. So, but overall, it was a really, really nice day, and a good parade. And it's nice to be able. Last year we did it and it poured, but this year was much better. But I'm glad we did it last year too, because it was the first year in a long time that we did it. Some upcoming events. June is National Gay Pride Month. I don't know if maybe you noticed coming in, but we do have the gay flag that's flying right out front here of Town Hall, and I think that's a good thing. And it's inclusive. We're being inclusive, and it's something that we started doing last year, and I'm proud that we're doing that. Tuesday, June the 7th is the primary election. The polls open at 6 o'clock in the morning and close at 8 p.m. Saturday, June the 11th, as Engine Company #1 members were here tonight, and they gave us these nice mugs and T-shirts. But their wet down is on Saturday, June the 11th, starting at 3:30 at Engine Company #1, and it's to dedicate the new rescue truck. On June 14th is Flag Day, so please fly your flag if you do have one. Be patriotic. On Saturday, June the 18th, is the Fishing Derby at the Saddle River County Park. Starts at 9 a.m., ends at 12 noon. If you're interested, you gotta call Christine, my secretary. On Saturday, July the 2nd, is the town picnic from 12 to 4, and the fireworks at dusk, both at the Saddle River County Park. The rain date for the picnic only is Sunday, July the 3rd. If we get rained out for the fireworks, we're gonna have to pick another day, but we don't have a rain date for that. I wanna congratulate all the graduates from preschool all the way to postgraduate. I wanna congratulate the Eagle Scouts that received their Eagles last month: Nolan Shanahan, Nicholas Abiso, and Patrick Gowell. Also, I want to congratulate the newly installed officers of the VFW Post 3484, the Riders, and the Auxiliary. And happy Father's Day.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilman Acomando.
It's not easy. Yeah, I too would like to thank everyone involved with the Memorial Day Parade. It was not only well attended by marchers and goers, but it was also well attended by the residents, which was nice to see. A lot of kids who running around. I also want to thank Steve for the budget and the rest of the council. On Sunday, before we had all our ceremonies, I participated in a posting flags at the cemetery with American Legion Post 170 in Rochelle Park. Joe Barra invited people there, and I have to tell you, I've been doing a lot of volunteering my whole life, giving back and trying to do the right thing. This was by far the best feeling I ever had in my life. There's people, there's names there that you see, dates that you don't even know if these people even have family around anymore. So to be able to put a flag on that stone for that soldier, whether male or female, was the by far the best feeling as far as giving back I've ever had in my life. And to see your son do it, oh, it's the best, the best. So if anybody wants to do it next year, please contact me. I don't care, you can contact me tomorrow for next year. It's a great thing, it's a great feeling. I would actually like to go the week prior to with weed whackers and clean some of those stones off, because some of them you couldn't even get to, they were so overgrown. So that's definitely something on our list of things to do for next year. Saturday, the June 4th is a first annual Major Plumbing Car Wash Give Back. It's anything that's made is gonna be donated to, I don't know if he's gonna donate to a certain family or families, but whatever is made, he's gonna match it. And he's gonna give it to individuals that are in need of financial help. So that's at 10 to 2 on 200 Floral Lane. If anybody wants to volunteer or come down and bring a car, it's $5 a car. Look forward to seeing people there. It's gonna be a great day, beautiful, beautiful day weather-wise. And happy Father's Day to not only the fathers, but the mothers pulling double duty out there, because there's probably more mothers pulling double duty than there is fathers. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Garrett?
Good evening, everyone. The Flood Committee will be holding its next meeting on Wednesday, June 29th at the Senior Center at 6:30 p.m. All residents are welcome to attend. Next, I have a message regarding the Saddlebrook Library. The Library Board is creating a strategic plan to help the library better meet the needs of our community. Please help and give your feedback on a brief survey. You can get paper copies of the survey at the library, at Town Hall, or the Senior Center. You can find the survey on the library's website or use the QR code on the posters found at Town Hall, the library, and the Senior Center. The survey will be available all summer long. Please help out the library. I'd also like to congratulate all of our graduates from pre-K up. Best of luck for a successful future. Also to all the dads out there, happy Father's Day. And finally, I'd like to wish all of our residents a safe and happy, healthy 4th of July weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
My turn. I want to thank Thomas, first of all, because since the start of construction, Thomas has been there every week. So if you go on the website, he posts pictures there every week. I was there this morning. Everything is moving along. The municipal part of the building, the offices are being completed, and Monday morning at 7 a.m., the furniture that we got, we will now be moving into the specific offices, because the furniture is staged in different areas, and we have to move it into where it belongs so they continue the work. Everything seems to be on schedule. There's always a glitch. The switch that we're waiting for, which was being shipped on June 20th, which was supposed to be earlier, as of today's meeting, the estimated time of arrival will be July 13th. So all looks okay, I'm still planning on the grand opening for the 24th, and I'm hoping that's the case. In about 2 weeks, they'll start painting the building. We're finishing the fire department and the ambulance corps, the outside stucco. And then what they'll do is they'll start power washing and painting. It should take about a month. So mid-July, you should see the building painted. Parking lot, Bob, we said July is going to be paved?
July or August.
Okay, so pretty much the builders are looking at construction to be finalized August 8th. But IT comes in, communications, again, I'm staying with September 24th as a grand opening. Unless something dramatically changes, we should be okay. It is moving along. If anybody has any questions or would like to come and see it, I could accommodate you before the grand opening. In fact, I'd love for anybody, I can't wait for you all to see it. Right, Thomas? It's really amazing. Please call me or email me if anything. The fitness center, we ordered Andrew helped. We ordered the equipment for the fitness center, so that's on order. And we're going to have treadmills and workout equipment and steppers. I don't go to the gym, which you could tell, but that's going to be fully equipped. And, well, it's true. So we are moving along and everything is going great. And I just want to thank the mayor, Pete, Steve, Tim. We said when we started this project, we projected what it would cost over 3 years, and we are on target. And $98 for the year, including the building. So we've stuck to our word, and so far it's working out. Today, we couldn't do the building between the interest rates and the costs. So I think really, when we did it, everything aligned. And it's going to be something terrific for today. And I won't be here, but 50 years from now, it'll be standing. So I'm excited about it. We all are. And I guess last, happy dads, Father's Day to all the daddies. Oh, and one other thing, the mayor mentioned the picnic. The tickets, Pete, we're gonna get them started.
Yes.
You'll have to pick up the tickets at Senior Center, the library, or Town Hall. They'll be available in about a week and a half because it came so short, right? It came up so quick. They'll also be available at the picnic. So just want you to know that they will be coming out. So look for it posted on the TV and on the website when they're available. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman?
Thank you, and first off, happy birthday to our council president,
Yeah.
Florence Mazur. Going off of what Ms. Arminio said, the fitness room, I made some contacts, or have some contacts, and somebody that we all know, but he was very instrumental in putting us with the right people. The fitness room initially was going to be in the rear. We were mapping everything out, and then Karen said, hey, what about this room in the front, which was gonna be something else? So we swapped it out, which was an awesome idea. It's great, it's gonna be closer up front, for security purposes and screening purposes. It's a great location. We will, in that fitness room right now, we anticipate having 4 treadmills, 2 different kinds of bikes, and what's something called an arc trainer, and a stairmaster, and an elliptical. So there's 9 pieces of the electrical cardio equipment, and then there will be a full circuit of different gym equipment, 3 benches, no free weights, but there will be dumbbells, And each of those machines that we anticipate getting are gonna be doing double duty. So it'll be, chest and lats, biceps and triceps. They all have multiple use machines, so you'll be able to do a full circuit and work out the entire body in addition to the cardio. The mayor had mentioned LGBTQ Pride Month. The key concepts are acceptance, respect, because if we do that, I think we'll have a lot of issues. So acceptance, inclusion, and respect, I'm sorry. The Memorial Day Parade, it's a somber day, although it's, we have a parade, it's joyous, but the actual day itself, the Memorial Day, is remembering the men and women who have died in combat. Or we in Saddlebrook have our own riff on that, because we have a number of different services to remember those who have served and have passed on, serving in the fire department, serving in the ambulance corps. The one by Town Hall is for World War II. The saddest that I felt this year that really hit home was the Korean veterans, because unfortunately we've noticed, I've been here for I think 14 years as a council person, but I was involved before that. So I've been going to the parade for more than 20 years. And the Korean monument had a lot of Korean vets there who were noticeable with their blue jackets, and they were very proud of their service, which they should be. I think they're all gone. So that was sad, seeing that there was no members of the Korean War veterans group that were able to attend. There might be one or two remaining, but they didn't attend, and the youngest probably has got to be 90 years old if they're alive. So just like all the World War II vets slowly passed on, the same thing has happened with our Korean vets. But the monument is still there. We still will be doing that every year in memory of everything that they did to help us in that conflict. Texas, horrible event. Like the mayor said, we have SLEOs. I don't believe there was a special law enforcement officer, which is what SLEO stands for, at that school. And in addition, for whatever reason, they propped open the door, just allowing someone to come in. But the key in that case, we can debate gun safety and everything like that, but my opinion, it's a mental health issue, and most of these school shootings is a mental health issue. I don't think there's been any where it's been just somebody who hasn't had a history of mental health issues that's ever done anything like this. And you go back and the signs are there. So again, we always say, if you see something, if you have an idea that somebody is having an issue, please speak out, contact the police, contact the school, contact someone, because we just look at all these people and you say, how can this happen? There's so many signs, and in almost every incident, the signs are there. So please, don't be afraid. You're not a tattletale, you're not a rat. You're a concerned citizen, and you can save lives by letting people know about this. Steve had mentioned about the waste and the prices going up. I actually had lunch with someone who has a waste facility, and I said, why don't you have a bid? I mean, I never see your name. He goes, it's just not worth it for us to do that. I also was in court with someone who represents, and his family used to own a waste management company, and I said, I never see your name. We're pretty much just sticking to the places that we've been for years. It's just not worth it for them. The profit margin is very, very low, and unfortunately, we got crushed this year with that, with the fee increase. So it's not as profitable as it used to be, and a lot of times we send out bids, and we're stuck with whoever we get. unfortunately, and we rebid it, and it's the same, you get one, maybe two people with them. Thank you, have a great Father's Day to everybody, and to those, like Bob had said, the mothers doing double duty, like my mom. It's Mother's Day, and she got Father's Day too, because my dad was dead when we were very, very young. So, for all the mothers there who are the heads of the family, happy Father's Day to you. You're also remembered, you shall not be forgotten. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. I too would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all our 2022 graduates from preschool to grad school. Lots of good luck in your future endeavors. And I'd like to wish all fathers and stepfathers, grandfathers, happy Father's Day. But also, Mayor, happy belated birthday to you. I don't know how that one got by us, but Mayor had a birthday also in May. So, happy birthday, happy belated.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'd like to thank everyone that was involved with the parade. What an amazing parade. It really was exceptional. And I'd like to also acknowledge our own Lou D'Arminio for being an amazing natural MC, and also for his dedicated, the words that he, at the Korean War Veterans Monument there, he actually took the ball, and it was a natural. Also the mayor too stepped up that day. But having said that, I echo everybody's sentiments up here, and we'll continue with our ordinances.
Ordinance 1721-22, a calendar year 2022 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank pursuant to NJSA 48:4-45.14 for a second reading.
Motion?
Motion?
Second?
Roll call?
Councilman Simaluka.
Yes.
Councilman Garrett.
Yes.
Councilman Accomando.
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio.
Yes.
Council President Mazer.
Yes.
Calendar year ordinance 2022 to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank NJSA 48:4-45.14.
Motion?
Motion?
Second?
Second. Roll call?
Councilman Simaluka.
Yes.
Councilman Garrick.
Yes.
Councilman Accomando.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer.
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio.
Yes.
A motion to?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The meeting is now open to the public regarding this ordinance. Anyone wishing to be heard? Seeing none, motion
Motion.
closed.
Second?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Be resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Saddlebrook that the ordinance entitled Calendar Year 2022 Ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank, NJSA 48:4-45.14, does now pass on second and final reading, and that the Township Clerk be directed to advertise said ordinance or title thereof in the press, together with the notice of the date of passage of said ordinance according to law.
Motion?
Second.
Second, roll call?
Councilman Simaluka.
Yes.
Councilman Garrick.
Yes.
Councilman Accomando.
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio.
Yes.
Council President Mazer.
Yes.
Ordinance 1722-22. It's an ordinance amending Chapter 196, Article 2, entitled Parking. For a second reading,
Motion?
Second?
Roll call?
Councilman Simaluka.
Yes.
Councilman Garrett.
Yes.
Councilman Accomando.
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio.
Yes.
Council President Mazer.
Yes.
An ordinance amending Chapter 196, Article 2, entitled Parking.
Motion to give second reading, to open the meeting to the public.
Second?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is now open to the public regarding this ordinance. Anyone wishing to be heard, please come up.
Good evening, everyone. Jerry Taylor, 318 Sheppes. This article, is this the commercial parking that we're talking about and all? So Any commercial vehicle that's parked on the street is going to get a ticket when it goes into effect? Doesn't matter on the side.
It's in effect now. This is an amendment regarding a couple of words and also,
Just the changes from
fines.
last,
This is for the changes.
yeah, all right. So it doesn't matter what size? Could be a van, could be a car. If it has commercial plates, it's going to get a ticket,
Yes,
Correct.
correct?
park between those hours.
Which is nights, right? 11 to 6,
I think it's
Nine,
10,
It's
9 to 6.
9 to 6.
9 to 6. Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else wishing to be heard? Seeing no,
Motion.
motion. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Be resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Saddlebrook that the ordinance entitled, Ordinance Amending Chapter 196, Article 2 entitled Parking is now passed on second and final reading, and that the Township Clerk be directed to advertise said ordinance or title thereof in the press, together with the notice of the date of passage of said ordinance according to law.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Samuka?
I had originally voted a no for this, it was passed. This ordinance affects certain words and the fines, and I am in agreement with the changes that have been made. They weren't made to, all of the changes that I wanted weren't made, but especially the fines, I'm in agreement with, so I vote yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Arcomando?
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio?
Yes.
Council President Mason?
Yes.
First reading ordinance 1723-22, an ordinance of the Township of Saddlebrook, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, and supplementing Chapter 206 of the Township Code, regulating the operation of specific classes of cannabis businesses within its geographical boundaries for first reading.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Samuka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Alcomondo?
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio?
Yes.
Council President Mason?
Yes.
Be resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Saddlebrook that an ordinance of the Township of Saddlebrook, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, and supplementing Chapter 206 of the Township Code regulating the operation of specific classes of cannabis businesses within its geographical boundaries, heretofore passed on first reading, be further considered for a final passage at a meeting to be held on the 7th day of July, 2022, at 7 o'clock p.m., or sooner after as the matter can be reached at the Municipal Building, 93 Market Street. And at such time and place, all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance according to law, with the notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Samuka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Alcomondo?
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio?
Yes.
Council President Mason?
Yes.
First reading ordinance 1724-22. It's an ordinance amending Chapter 196, Section 43, entitled Schedule X, Stop Intersections, creates a stop sign location on Beach by Skillman.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second. Roll call.
Councilman Samuka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Alcomondo?
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio?
Yes.
Council President Mason?
Yes.
Be resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Saddlebrook that an ordinance amending Chapter 196, Section 43, entitled Schedule 10, Stop Intersections, heretofore passed on first reading, be further considered for a final passage at a meeting to be held on the 7th day of July, 2022, at 7 o'clock p.m., or sooner after as the matter can be reached at the Municipal Building, 93 Market Street, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance according to law, with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and at the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Samuka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Alcomondo?
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio?
Yes.
Council President Mason?
Yes.
And that completes ordinances. Through the consent agenda, all items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the Township Council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member or member so requests it, in which case the item or items will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. The one motion signifies adoption of all resolutions, receive and file letters, correspondence, reports, and approval of minutes and applications. Councilman, we did correct the minutes for the dollar amount, so that's been listed already on it.
Good motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Saluka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio?
Yes.
Council President Mazur?
Yes. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. Old business?
The speed committee, through the chair, speed committee, Mayor had mentioned, I went out with Mr. Klein, Officer in Charge Galbo. We went to see some areas that there were some requests actually on Strathmore. There was a petition that the residents had put together seeking a speed hump on Strathmore near the Strathmore entrance to the park there, to Avon Park. It meets some of the criteria, or the criteria, which is requests from the citizens or residents nearby. Strathmore is a relatively narrow street with parking on both sides. There have been a number of complaints in that area, so we went to look at it. However, Strathmore is high on the list for potential road paving for 2023 road pavement program. Based on that, we would not consider it feasible to put a speed hump there, just to tear it up, if in fact it is going to be paved for next year, but it will be prioritized for next year. The other area, the other places that we are considering and have basically, not considering, but we've indicated that we do wish to place speed humps, would be Wilson and Fairlawn Parkway. And we went to look at a new location on Lanza and felt that that was a proper spot, being that it's close to Franklin and there have been a number of complaints. So what we are doing, I don't know, have we sent out letters yet?
We're working on that,
Yeah,
Councilman.
we're going to be sending letters to residents in the general area, because we've had some issues where we've gone ahead and some of the people, actually one person, has complained about the speed humps being there without formally polling the neighborhood. So, not a big fan of that, but we are doing that, and once we get some feedback, we anticipate placing a couple of speed humps on Fairlawn Parkway, one in the narrow end, one in the wider section. Wilson, up by, I forget, do you remember the streets? Ash or?
Willow Beach.
No, on the other, Wilson up
Oh, on the other side.
on the other side, near, I think,
Yep.
Ash, Spruce, in that general area. I know you had sent.
Maple and spruce.
Maple and Spruce. And so that's gonna be there. Part of the, when we were going around looking, we did look at a potential stop sign at the intersection of Strathmore and Avon. there is some signage there. There's a stop sign on the controlling northbound traffic. So the suggestion or the recommendation was to trim down some of the trees that may interfere with the line of sight for vehicles traveling on Strathmore approaching Avon, and also for southbound Avon traffic looking to their left. I've contacted Mr. Sedekase, our property maintenance officer, and he has contacted the owner of the home at that intersection, whose trees were planted between the sidewalk and the curb that are extending into the right-of-way on the street. So we'll hopefully get that trimmed back, so this way there's a better line of sight. We also went to the Beach and Skillman intersection and felt that that was an appropriate site for a stop sign, and that's when we've reported back, and that's why we have an ordinance to place a stop sign on Beach, also with the signage, the striping or lines on the street that say stop and stop line, because that is a wide intersection. It's a Y intersection, pretty much, not a T intersection. And people traveling on Beach, it's hard to figure out whether who's the dominant street, Skillman or Beach. So we'll have a stop sign on Beach to control that, so this way there's no issues. And that was the recommendations of the committee, and thank you to the council for putting the recommendations into action. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other old business?
I have something
Sure.
for new business.
Yeah.
I was made aware from Anthony Suarez, our town attorney, that there was a civil trial this week. And we received Saddlebrook received, with Anthony representing Saddlebrook, a winning verdict of $50,000. I'm gonna let Anthony explain, so.
Sure, thank you. So, actually, I'd like to take full credit, but Lisa Bacacci, the attorney in my office, was the trial attorney on the case, but I did work on it before she went to trial on it. And the court order I just sent to Pete and to the mayor, and she's preparing a letter for the mayor and council, so you could see what happened. But the verdict was for $50,248.60, and this had to do with the All-American sewer case, wherein they were claiming that we owed them money for a job that they didn't do properly, and our suit was essentially for negligence, that they didn't do it properly and that we accrued damages. And I just want to thank all the witnesses, including Pete, who did a great job taking the stand and telling the truth, and things worked out. So we're in the process right now of trying to see if they're going to just pay the money or if they're going to take an appeal on the case. And I was in the process of docketing it as a statewide lien, so that if they don't pay it, we can actually go after their personal assets, the bank accounts and things like that.
Great. Awesome.
Good job.
Good job. Yes.
I just have one thing. I was at work listening to the radio, and I heard a call out from our operations that there was a car stolen at Saddlebrook, again, on Wednesday. So I just want to tell people, listen, if you start your car, take the keys with you. Don't leave it running. It's just common sense. I mean, I'm not calling anyone names, but it's just common sense. If you go into a store, it's not cold out, it's not too hot out. If your kids are in the car, don't stop or lock the doors. Take your keys with you, turn your car off. There's too many cars being stolen. Just be vigilant and just be mindful of your surroundings. That's all. That's all I say.
Thank you. Any other business? Old or no? Nothing? No? Motion to open meeting to public?
Motion?
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is now open to the public. Anyone wishing to be heard on the agenda items, please come up. No? Yes, please come up.
I'm not sure if it's an
That's
agenda
okay.
item.
Just state your name and address.
Janae Ferguson, 321 8th Street. So I really want to understand how I can bring something to be added to the agenda or to be discussed. I'm not sure the process, so it's not anything that was talked about today that I want to talk about, but I want to make sure I'm doing the right process.
You're talking about like prior to our meetings?
Yes.
Something like that? Well, contact our clerk, Mr. Lindigo, and he would then, actually, confer with us to see, I mean, I'm sure we'd put it on the agenda, for the following agenda.
Before our work session.
Before our work session.
Which is Tuesday. It's always good to come to a work session. I would recommend that you come to a work session, because that's where everything really gets discussed. This is, today is the meeting where we vote on things, and also discuss it. But Tuesday is the work session where it's a little less formal, but items get discussed and hashed out to the point where they're then placed on the agenda for voting for
Okay,
for a formal vote.
okay, thank you.
But just so you're clear, like earlier, in the beginning of the meeting, if you were here, it's open to the public to talk about anything.
Okay, okay,
Okay, it's just that now, towards the end, we're doing just agenda items.
thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Jerry Taylor, 318 Shepherd's Ave. I think this is part of, well, I would assume it's part of the agenda because we're talking about the new building, Town Hall. What is going to happen to the old buildings? I know Mr. Accomano said 5. I can count 4 that here, the fire department next to us. We have the old DPW building. Is that one of them?
No.
5 at the new building, what are you saying?
Well, I'm saying, yeah, he was saying 5 old buildings.
Municipal,
You got
which is
Coolidge,
here,
and
you
you
got
got the
Coolidge, the building
trailer at Veterans
department.
Field.
and
Oh,
you
at the
got
recreation. Right.
You got the fire department, and you got the ambulance corps, so that's 5.
Right, okay. But what's, are they gonna go up for sale, or any idea what we're doing? Make Coolidge a historical building?
Coolidge is owned by the Board of Ed.
That's true, that is
Get
true.
back to the Board of
We're
Ed.
rent, yeah,
Hoping they keep it because it is, as Councilman Accomando asked, it was built in 1907.
oh, yeah,
It's a historic building. It's
rent it
in
for $1,
Good shape.
yeah,
So as the chalkboards behind the walls, because we made sure we kept it that way.
Yeah.
Original chalkboards.
Yeah.
But it's up to the Board of Ed.
And I believe that the Board of Ed they have a plan to use it, to actually.
oh, yeah, put it back into the
put
more,
offices in there,
yeah, okay. And, Mr. Mayor, it was nice that you mentioned about the county having a 0% increase. I wish every year was an election year, myself, as you know, but it's good. It's good to have a break for the people of the county. Thank you. Have a good night, and happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to
Happy
you.
Father's Day. Anyone else before we close? No, motion to close?
Motion?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
That's it, right? The motion to close the meeting?
Motion to close the meeting.
Second?
Second.
Second.
Aye.
Yeah, everybody's good. Good night, everyone.